What's up, everybody? Back again. I don't know what was cooler, seeing Rodgers show up dressed like Nicolas Cage or watching the Packers practice for the first time this year. I'm so excited. There is a lot to talk about. A lot of players doing what they have to do to make their presence known. It's pretty awesome. There's a lot of guys, offense and defense, that are really pushing to make plays, and there's some guys that are dropping the ball literally. So Rodgers got interviewed right after practice today, and they asked him what it's like going from Davante Adams to Allen Lazard. And he said it's always difficult to go from one Hall of Famer to another Hall of Famer. So that's kind of funny because, Davante said that Derek Carr was a Hall of Famer. So kind of a funny little play on words there. You never know it because, Lazard has never had his chance to be a wide receiver one. It's his time to shine. So let's see if he can do it. The Packers have never asked him to do something that he hasn't been able to do up to this point. Let's see if that trend continues. He came into the league as like an undrafted free agent, I believe, to Jacksonville, and then he was on their practice squad and ended up with the Packers. First year, he didn't do anything, and then the second year, he's kind of slowly come on, and yeah, now he's the number one. So we'll see if he can do it. I think he can. 6'5", he can run, has playmaking ability, he can catch well. He's just a really dynamic player, so I think he's going to be able to do it. Packers did sign another wide receiver, Ishmael Hyman. That's in lieu of the fact that didn't get Julio Jones. I don't think it's a big deal. It would have been nice to kind of, to have Julio, I guess, but at his age, you don't really know how he's going to be. He's been injured the last 3 years. I think he only played 7 games the last 2 years. So Julio is a guy that, if he is able to play a few games, he could give you some yards, a bunch of catches. He still, I think, has that left in the tank. But is he going to be healthy when you need him in the playoffs? I really don't know. So Ishmael Hyman, Packers got him instead. And they got the guy I talked about yesterday from the USFL. But Hyman's wide receiver. He went to James Madison, undrafted out in 2018. He's 6 foot, 196. Don't think he's going to make the team. I like the other guy. I like Osiris Mitchell, 6'5", USFL guy. He's a guy for me to watch. Watkins is out. It's a non-football related injury list, which means he hurt himself not playing football. We'll see if he'll be able to get back. They said that he's out for now, but it's significant enough for him to miss some time, but not serious enough that they think he'll be out for a while. Kind of the same thing with Christian Watson. He got hurt during OTAs, so he's sitting out, but they feel good about his progress, and he'll likely be back soon. After day one of camp, though, the Packers did release Khalif Bryce, cornerback. I hadn't even really had him on my radar at all, so it's, not, to me, that's just a guy the Packers must have brought in, realize, okay, he's not going to fit, and let him go. So, not a big deal. Standouts for today, at camp, there were a lot of guys that make big plays. Doubs and Lazard are 2 guys who I feel like really stepped up, made the plays when they were called on. Doubs had an amazing Moss catch over Kevion Ento. Really, probably one of the biggest plays of the day for training camp, getting his name known. I really think Doubs is going to be the guy to watch for as the Packers progress into the season here. Him and Rodgers are going to get on the same page. He wants to listen. He wants to be Rodgers' guy. So I really think Doubs is the one to step up and take that next step quicker than any of the other rookies, and even ahead of, Watkins and Cobb. Lazard, I think, can be the guy that kind of sticks out as that number 1, but Doubs is going to be a solid number 2 for a while, and he's got that Davante body type. He's got faster than Davante speed by about, I think Davante ran a 4.56, and Dobbs ran a 4.50, so pretty close. And they're about the same height, 6'1", 6'2", so basically the same body type, and it comes down to just getting Dobbs up to speed. Obviously, Devontae is one of the best receivers in the league, if not the best. He uses mostly just his feet to get separation from the DB. Not really a lot of hand movements, so we'll see how Dobbs kind of can use some of that game and become that target for Rodgers. I look forward to watching his growth and see what kind of connection those two can make. So it's going to be a 12 to 87 connection again, like it was with him and Jordy Nelson. So it will be cool to watch one more time. Lazard also had a big play today. He had over Adrian Amos, who I think is one of the best safeties in the league. He had a big catch that way downfield. Aaron Rodgers, what a throw again, but perfect throw, but it was a jump ball. Amos Lazard, and Lazard came down with it. Obviously, Lazard's 6'5", Amos is not 6'5", so I think he's about 6 foot. So for Lazard to be able to jump over him, he should be able to, but making the play is what matters, what really counts. A lot of these guys are bigger, stronger, and faster, but they can't make the play when it matters, so to have Lazard come down with the ball, that's huge. Guys like, Jordan Love, who we know isn't going to start, but we want him to grow. Love has a lot of talent. He's bigger than Rodgers. Right now, he's probably more athletic than Rodgers. 6'4". He's got an arm. But today, he had a really nice throw to Samori Toure. He looked good. He had a nice throw to Amari Rodgers, who also looked pretty good. So there's some guys that are making some plays. Like I said, Dobbs, Lazard, Toure, Amari Rodgers, all kind of the receivers that are taking the step to be the guys who are counted on. I didn't know how Amari Rodgers' game would translate this year. I didn't know what kind of jump he would take, but it looks like already day one that he's come to play and that he wants to be a contributor on this team. I look forward to him making that step. I don't want to doubt guys ever. I just need to be shown what they can do. And last year, only 4 catches. It didn't show me a lot. So I wasn't really down on him. I know he's got the talent. He's a 3rd-round pick out of Clemson. So obviously, the athletic ability is there. He just has to put it on the field. If he can do it, that's just another weapon for Rodgers. So hopefully, Amari Rodgers can take that next step as well. Super exciting. This offense is already starting to, these guys are going to really show up and show out, and the ones that are going to play on Sundays are going to start, separating from the rest of these guys. So very exciting. On the defensive side of the ball, Quay Walker already was calling plays day one at training camp. It looked like, Campbell is mostly that guy, but having Quay do it is a huge step for him. I really like Quay. He's just, he's young. He wants to learn. He's from a small town down south. He said Green Bay's, kind of like home. He doesn't mind the chilled, relaxed environment. He's all about ball, and that's the type of guys we want in Green Bay. It's just he's super athletic, 6'3", can run, long glider, sideline to sideline, making plays. He caught up to Aaron Jones and tackled him on a sideline to sideline play. So really solid player. I think he is going to be a gem right away. I don't feel like he's going to take a lot of time to grow. He's going to come out and he's going to have time. He's going to have things to develop into, but I think he's just going to be one of those guys that comes in day one and really can contribute for the Packers. So I'm excited about him. Seeing Jair Alexander back out in the practice field probably made a lot of different people's day. I know I am just excited that he's back. Jair Island means that we have one receiver basically shut down, and it's going to usually be the other team's best receiver. I don't know what Joe Barry is going to do, if he's going to leave Jair on the best receiver, or if he's just going to leave him on the right side, just having him shut down one side of the field. But either way, whatever Jair does, he's going to do at a high level. Right away, he had a pass breakup early on in camp, and I look for him to have that happen a lot this year. Stokes and Rasul Douglas also were out there making plays. Those 3 guys are going to have quite the year. It's literally going to be a no-fly zone. I don't even care that Tampa got Julio Jones, because we got our 4th best corner is Kevin King now. So if we have Stokes, covering Godwin, and Jair covering, or Jair covering Godwin, Stokes covering Evans, and then Douglas playing Julio or whatever. However it goes, it's gonna be. At least we're matching up now. We're not sending Ladarius Gunter out there to cover Julio like we did in the past. So I'm excited about our corners. I'm excited about our safeties. They even threw Shamar John Charles in as kind of Jair's replacement on some of those defensive plays. So Shamar could have the inside track. He's a little bit undersized guy, came out of a smaller school, but he's got a lot of talent. I really liked him coming out of college last year. I knew he was raw. I knew that he had some development issues to work through and everything. So I think he does. He's got the athletic ability and he's just a football player. That's what it comes down to. Can these guys play? And so it's exciting to see the guys that are going to step up and kind of take over that role. Ty Summers made Patrick Taylor fumble. That's kind of a big thing. Ty Summers, I don't think is going to make the team. I thought they're going to keep guys at other positions, and then that middle linebacker spot's kind of shored up with Walker and Campbell and Barnes, and then if they keep a fourth and fifth guy, they're going to be special teams guys, maybe a McDuffie, and I don't know which way they're going to lean. So I thought maybe Summers would be on that bubble line, but causing a fumble on the first day of camp, that's huge. On the other side, the flip side, Patrick Taylor fumbling, he just came off the injury report, first day of camp, fumbles already, and then the guy he's competing with for that fourth running back spot, if they keep four, Goodson, had a really nice run. So I do look forward to that battle all camp. I'm not really sure if, obviously, the day one fumble isn't going to make or break anything. There's a lot of time still, but there's only 12 of these open to the public practices, and to have a fumble right away is not going to look good for him making the team, especially with all this talent and especially with all these questions at other positions. They may just keep an extra offensive lineman instead of taking a risk on keeping a fourth running back, so we will see. Just not a good look. I do like Patrick Taylor. I thought he had the inside track for that running back four behind Jones and Dillon and Kylan Hill. Kylan Hill was on the did not practice list today. The list included Mason Crosby, Christian Watson, Sammy Watkins, Casey Nixon, Kylan Hill, like I said, Jonathan Garvin, Randy Ramsey, David Bakhtiari, Rasheed Walker, who's that draft pick out of Penn State, Elkin Jenkins, who I did see running in the rehab group, so I thought that was good. Obviously, Robert Tonyan's coming back from the ACL. He did not participate. Malik Taylor and Akil Byers. I did not think that Jenkins and Bakhtiari and Robert Tonyan would all be out there. Obviously, they're all coming off the ACL with Kylan Hill, so they all didn't practice. But to see Jenkins running, I thought was great. Bakhtiari said that his concern level is low. I like where I am. I feel good. I feel normal. That's huge. If these guys feel like they're on pace to be ready, you have to trust the athlete. They know themselves. They know their bodies. I've heard a lot of people saying that Bach's done. He's cooked. It's over with. But I really think that the Packers know what they're doing with him. He knows what he's doing. 20 months is a long time. He's either ready to go or he's probably never going to be ready to go. So I really think that they know what they're doing. If his concern level is low, he likes where he's at. I like where they're at. I feel like that's all good things. Crosby being out, Coco kicked today, so I don't know what to think about that. I think Crosby's going to win the job. He did have his right knee scoped 2 weeks ago. He doesn't care about missing a preseason game. He said that's not going to hurt anything. But if this young kid comes in and starts making all these kicks, who knows what's going to happen. So, yeah, I think Zach Coco is the long snapper. I'm not sure who they'll have kicking in the interim. I know they got the guy the Vikings released, so I think he went to Oklahoma. He's a good kicker, so Crosby needs to be out there. He needs to defend the job. And if he does make 30 kicks this year, he bumps ahead from like 17th to 12th or something like that on the all-time field goal list made, and he hits like 400 at some point. So pretty cool. It's a lot to watch. I know Crosby only kicked like 77% last year. Really down season for him. But I look for him to bounce back and be that consistent, reliable guy that we all know he can be. The starting D line and the starting O line gonna be questions. Gonna be a real big battle all the way through camp. The D line not as much as the O line, but the D lines the starters were Jaron Reed, T.J. Slayton, and Kenny Clark. Reed, I thought they said Wyatt was already jumped Reed, so to see Reed out there with the ones was awesome. I like Reed. Played with Seattle, went to Alabama. I think he can be really solid, at least rotational player, if not a starter. T.J. Slayton's a guy who I didn't think was going to even be, maybe on the team. If he's already on the starting line, they see something with him already that they like. I mean, he's already ahead of Lowry, who jumped first false start of camp. Rodgers got him to jump. But anyway, T.J. Slayton, I just think that he made some big steps forward, and he's a big, physical, powerful guy that I really think can be disruptive in the middle, especially if you have Kenny Clark next to you. It just shores up so much space. And then having Rashawn Gary, who just beast moded Royce Newman today. Rodgers got the ball off, but still it was pretty incredible. Having Gary and Smith and then Clark freeing up space. Slayton and Reed are not usually going to be double teamed, so you're going to have one-on-ones that if you can beat your guy, you can really make disruptive plays for the defense, and I look for guys like Reed and Slayton to do that. Just really exciting to see some of these young guys and a new guy right there in front, first day, starting up front, and really given a chance to show what they can do. The starting 5 offensive linemen is kind of a mix of last year's starters, and none of them are really guys who I feel, besides the center, guys who I feel are going to actually start this season. Yash was at left tackle. Yash played great at left tackle last year. He really came in with so many question marks on whether or not he could do the job, and he comes in and he really did well. He's a big guy, really big. I think he's like 6'8", so he's a really big dude. Solid run blocker, pass blocker. He's young, still kind of raw, but he moves his feet well, and he just held his own. He did really well last year, and if Bach's not ready, I think Yash does start at that left tackle spot. I think if Bach doesn't start, Yash has that left tackle spot pretty much locked up. I really hope Bach starts, and then I don't think Yash is on the line at all then if he's not that left tackle. But if Bach's not ready, I think Yash starts at that left tackle. I think that's kind of Yash's niche, and I think that's what's going to make him allow him to make the team, is the fact that he's going to either be the starting left tackle or be Bakhtiari's backup. So next to him at left guard was John Runyon Jr. He's a guy who is one of my picks for whatever position Elkin Jenkins doesn't play, left guard or right tackle. Right now they have him at left guard, so if Jenkins isn't ready to go, like Bach, then John Runyon Jr. has the inside track for that left guard spot. I really think he played well there last year. I think he's going to be just a solid guard in this league. His dad played for years and for the Eagles, and he was always really good. But I really think that John Runyon Jr. can hold his own at left guard, and if he has Yash next to him and Myers with Rodgers, setting up the protections, I think Runyon's a smart enough kid with enough talent that he can hold his own and just do what the Packers ask of him to do until guys like Bakhtiari and Jenkins can come back. Starting at center again, I know he was a rookie last year, only played a few games, and people said that he struggled, and I think he kind of would admit he struggled, but I liked how he played. I thought he did well. I thought as a rookie center, really a tough position to play with Rodgers behind you on a team that really expects Super Bowls. I think he did well. He learned a lot. He got hurt, so he didn't finish out the year, but I feel like he's a guy that comes out of Ohio State. He's a smart kid. He can learn the offense. He can figure out protections, and he's got the talent to be a solid center. I know we let Corey Linsley go, and he's like one of the top rated linemen this year. Bummer that we don't have him, but I think Myers is a guy that can come in and really just be a solid starter for a while now, or for a while in this league. He's young, so I expected him to have some issues or some growing pains, but the Packers like him. Rodgers, I think, likes him. Otherwise, he wouldn't be the center, and so I look for him to take that step. Next to him is the biggest surprise of all 5 of these guys. Is a guy that was drafted in the 6th round in 2020, Zach Hansen. A guy I don't know a whole lot about. He clearly was on the practice squad the last couple of years, didn't really show up, but the Packers develop offensive linemen so well. They really do. Like Bakhtiari was a 4th round pick, and he's the best All-Pro. I mean, he's the best left tackle in football, All-Pro. Jenkins was a later pick. You guys like T.J. Lang and Josh Sitton were all later picks. Tauscher and Clifton were later picks. There's just goes on and on for a long time of really solid. Marco Rivera and Mike Wall. Remember those guys? Late round picks. So it goes way back where Packers have just always been really good at developing these later round offensive linemen. And another one, 6th round pick, Zach Hansen, might be starting right guard depending on how he can perform. With these question marks at offensive line, I think it's really open to anybody. The best 5 win. Zach Hansen could be with that guy. So we will see. We'll keep an eye out on that. And then Royce Newman fouled out the 5 guys on the offensive line starting at right tackle. Royce played a lot of snaps last year. He did get like a bum rush by Gary, like I talked about, but that's going to happen when you go up against a Rashawn Gary. So Royce Newman, I think, can be a solid starter. Like I said, I prefer to have the other guys. It would really solidify some of these positions, and then wherever you fill in one of the Newman or Runyon or even Zach Hansen or Sean Ryan, if he ends up kind of stepping up. I really think Sean Ryan's going to be a starter. Zach Tom has the potential too, but they're going to let these guys that have been around for a little while kind of get their chance first, and then see if these rookies can step in and take over those spots. I like the Packers do that. I like they give their guys who they drafted, like in other drafts, a chance before the rookies get it, but everybody will get a chance, and may the best 5 guys win, like I said. So I'm super excited. I can't wait. That's going to be a huge battle. Receiver battle is going to be a big one. Obviously, defensive line. Linebackers are pretty set, but, even every position has a little battle at the end behind all the starters. So everything's going to be super exciting to watch. I know A.J. Dillon looked so good today. Jones looked good today. Aaron Rodgers looked really great, as always. And it was just awesome to see everybody back out there. It's going to be exciting. There's going to be so much happening. This is just day 1, and look at everything. So I can't wait. I'm too excited, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.